General Hospital Spoilers reveals that Link Brown will return to trouble Brooklyn. Recently, Chase and Brooke's relationship is developing well. They had a hard time getting to where they are now. Brooke has now opened up to Chase, and the two of them are happily dating. However, Brown suddenly appeared mentioning the old contract of the two. He wanted to use that as a condition of sex exchange with Brooke. She could never accept. What will Brooke do to solve this? Brooke had previously signed an album contract with Brown, but her voice was lost, so she couldn't sing. After a while, Brown didn't mention the matter, so she thought everything was settled. Unexpectedly, he came back to mention this issue now. Maybe Brown saw that Brooke was happy with Chase, and he didn't want to let her into someone else's arms, so he did. Brown wants to use the contract to get back and forth with Brooke. If Brooke refuses to exchange sex with him, he will bring this contract to sue her. How will Chase react when he finds out? TJ and Molly were asked by Stella to go to Brooklyn to meet Marshall, to advise him. Seems to be a matter between Curtis and Marshall, and Stella doesn't want Curtis to be immersed in her father's secret investigation and forget the most important thing that's present. Marshall's recovering in Brooklyn, and both Curtis and Stella have their eyes there. Stella counseled for days, but Curtis didn't want to listen. Now only TJ and Molly can advise. Stella was afraid that Curtis would regret it later. Marshall is sick now. Don't know when he will die. Did Curtis and Marshall get along before he died? Can TJ and Molly advise Curtis? Marshall's secret is something everyone is curious about, but because of this, the relationship between father and son became bitter and strained, which was not worth it. Perhaps soon Marshall will tell everything himself without Curtis finding out. Now, as long as the father and son are in harmony, the family members are very happy. Did Curtis listen to TJ and Molly's advice to get along with his father? TJ and Molly are still determined not to give up on advising Curtis, and they didn't want him to regret the rest of his life. Previously, TJ always supported Curtis whenever he did anything related to Marshall, but now that TJ's seen Harmony die, he's treating the doctor, and sees how Willow suffered when his mother died. TJ is so obsessed he doesn't know and doesn't want Curtis to have that feeling. Marshall is Curtis's biological father after all. Certainly always wanting the best for his child, he would never harm his child, but Curtis is stubborn and always wants to do his own thing. Perhaps with the advice of both TJ and Molly, Curtis might change. How will Curtis decide? Portia and Trina are currently having a headache when they can't find evidence in Esme. If there's no evidence she did it soon, Trina will be falsely accused. Thus, more than the second half of Trina's life will always have a bad reputation because of this. The most angry thing is that Trina is not the one who did this. Portia had rarely confided in Curtis before, and she wanted to solve this on her own. But most of all, she was afraid that he would find out the secret that Trina was her daughter. But this time it was really out of the question, so Portia asked Curtis for help. He was still struggling with his father, but when Portia asked, he was always ready to help. Can Curtis find evidence to prove Trina's wrongdoing? Or will it still be like others who can't find any clues?